Welcome, everybody, to Channelside Bets. It's time to cash those checks and make some bets. Let's go.
Welcome to Channelside Bets with your hosts, Nikki Gist, Chip Settle, and L. Bushman.
Welcome, everybody, to Channelside Bets, presented to you by Channelside Sports. Make sure to go to our YouTube page. We are exclusively on that platform. Subscribe, smash that follow button to get all your latest and greatest episodes that pop up. Make sure to turn into Channelside Sports, which goes Monday through Friday with Danny Bennett, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We are Channelside Bets, giving you the best DFS and fantasy football advice for week one of the NFL season, which starts today. Nikki, Chip, I am so excited. It is finally back. We've had nothing but just nothing to talk about for the past 280-something days, and it's finally here. Week one is upon us. Thursday night's game was, well, Nikki, how was Thursday night's game?
Oh, God.
Did the Rams win?
No, they did not
win.
They did not. No. Listen, week one, don't listen to me on week one, but every week after, and 8. 1 and 8 are really bad for me. Okay. After that, I'm golden.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So before we get into everything, thanks for tuning into Channelside Bets. This is our very first show. I'm L. Bushman. Above me is Chip and Nikki. Some thoughts into Thursday night's game. What do we thought about Josh Allen? The man is the beast of so far. I'm glad I picked him up in fantasy in my third round of drafting him. Thank you, Josh Allen. Thank you, by the way. Any takeaways from Thursday night's game with the Rams and the Bills, you two?
Wow. Nikki, what do you got? I'll follow you.
Well, I was really surprised at how terrible the Rams looked. That line, Jesus. I think they're going to be calling a certain somebody up, right? Because that was rough. And honestly, what is this team without Cooper Kupp? I mean, Matthew Stafford did miss him a few times, clear and wide open, but they got some work to do.
Yeah, I think also, and like you said, the offense kind of sputtered. It never really got going, but I think I was mostly impressed with Buffalo's defensive line, some of the draft picks, obviously, guys that have been there for a little bit, stepping up. And Josh Allen pretty much just had command of the entire field. He was basically able to move the ball up and down when they needed to. Had a couple of bad plays, had one tip for an interception. Aaron Donald did have a good game. He had a sack, I think, and a couple of other disruptive plays, but really Buffalo overall just looked heads and tails better than the Rams, which was a little bit of a surprise.
The one thing that really stuck out to me the most was, hey, where's Cam Akers? Hey, where in the world is Cam Akers?
A lot of fantasy people took one in the teeth there.
So I was looking at my lineup for Thursday. I'm like, there's a couple of people I maybe want to switch around. And Cam Akers was one of those. And I put on my guys to sit. I sat Cam Akers. There's some feeling in my belly that said, don't start Cam Akers. And I'm glad I did, because he burned so many people in fantasy. People were calling for Sean McVay's head. Like, dude, where is he? What is going on here? And apparently Sean McVay wants him to be better prepared. That's the excuse that he gave for Cam Akers. I guess he's not ready to I don't know what's going on with that, but if you drafted Cam Akers, I'm sorry. Just like I drafted him, I don't know what's going to happen with that run game. It's all over the place right now. Darrell Henderson Jr. has the number one label, I guess, right now. So we'll see how the weeks go by, and maybe Cam Akers can get in there as well. Wanted to ask you both, is there any maybe cause for concern about Matthew Stafford's arm at all? Did you see any kind of, it almost to me looked like he lost maybe a little bit of zip here and there because of the surgery in the offseason?
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to be concerned. And look, Matt Stafford is my guy. I don't want to be concerned, but I think so, right? But we'll see. I mean, it's week one. Maybe everybody just needs to settle down a little bit, but I think that definitely has to cross your mind.
Yeah, I think a shoulder, obviously, for a quarterback is kind of like a wheel on a car. I mean, if that's not running right, you're not driving right, you're scared, everything kind of gets, a little wishy-washy. So, yeah, I think definitely cause for concern, but also, like we said, and Nikki spoke earlier, the offensive line, no Wentworth, or not Wentworth, the tackle. who just retired. Is it Whitworth?
Yeah, just Whitworth. Yes.
Okay, I'm correct.
You are correct.
But yeah, without him, you're just younger and you got a lot of holes. So Matt Stafford's going to have to be on the run, and with a bum shoulder, that's not a good start. So
I said the Rams would regress. It's so far maybe looking like that. The Super Bowl hangover is real. So we'll see in the coming weeks. All right, let's get into the news. NFL news with Nikki. What do we got for you?
Not too much, guys. I know we're all anxiously awaiting the injury report, but New England has officially announced Matt Patricia will be calling the plays. I am so sorry because that was between him and Joe Judge, and I really don't like either one of those. So all the money is on Miami, as it should be, and that pretty much would confirm it for me. It is nasty over there in Chicago. They are having major flood warnings, so we might be in for a sloppy mess, something to keep in mind as they face the 49ers. And as we all know, Lamar Jackson did reject his 6-year, $133 million guaranteed contract. He did consult with the NFLPA, and I believe he was advised that due to his age and talent, he should hold out for a fully guaranteed contract. And that just leads me to believe that Cleveland just continues to mess everything up for everybody. And that's it for News with Nikki.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
I was going to say, if he's expecting the fully guaranteed from Baltimore, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. And he's a free agent next year. So I've been screaming about this on Channelside Sports the past few months that, hey, if Tom Brady suddenly leaves in retirement or goes somewhere else, I mean, the Bucs accounting staff is pretty good about moving some numbers around. I mean, hey, Lamar, you can come down to Tampa if you want to. I mean, we welcome you with open arms. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, all right, we are going to get into our bold predictions for this year, guys. And, going into week one, there's so much of the unknown that we don't know yet because of so many moves this offseason. Star wide receivers going to different teams. We've got new play callers on different teams too, new head coaching staffs as well. So that could affect your DFS, thinking this year, and also for fantasy football as well when you draft your team. Give me some bold predictions that you think will probably happen this year during the NFL season.
Well, I will say that I do not think Dak Prescott is going to finish in the top 10. However, I do think Saquon Barkley will be top 5 running back.
And that's one Giants mention for today. Okay, that is one. And at the end of the show, we'll see how many times Nikki mentions the New York Giants. There we go. That's one. I thought you were going to mention that in your NFL news, but I was wrong. Okay, so that's one.
That is a bold prediction, depending on who you ask. Yes.
That's very true. Chip, what do we got for bold predictions?
Bold prediction, I think Kyler Murray is going to be a quarterback that's going to drop like a rock. I think that missing, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins and not having him for half the year is really going to hurt him. And plus just the offseason in Arizona, it's been a little tumultuous. They've got a lot of things going on over there, so I think he might end up dropping out of the top 10. But I also think another bold prediction is Carr and Adams, obviously, went to Fresno State together, paired up now over there in Las Vegas, and should do really well. And I think they will have a combined more passing yards and touchdowns than Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
I like
that is my bold prediction, which you saw. Josh Allen spread it around. McKenzie had a touchdown. I think Gabriel Davis had a touchdown. So they got a lot of weapons in Buffalo. So I think it's kind of bold. It's boldish.
It's not bold and spicy. It's just boldish. I like
that. There you go. It's boldish.
Yeah,
I think Carr, is also another quarterback, a lower tier quarterback. Keep your eye on this year who could really explode fantasy wise.
Which kind of brings me into my next segment. Which top performer will not finish in the top 10? And I'm going to go first. And this can kind of tie into our bold predictions that we did now. I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes will not finish in the top 10 this year. And I say that because he already came out this week saying, fantasy owners, I do apologize. I'm going to be spreading the ball around a lot. And that to me says, well, that could be going to the run game. That could be going to wide receivers that you haven't really clicked yet. Juju Smith-Schuster was maybe the number. Well, there's no clear-cut guy that he's really going to go to besides Travis Kelce. So with that mention being, look, if he's saying, I'm sorry, you're not going to to me that says, hey, you're not going to get the performance that you're usually seeing me do in the past couple of years. So I say Patrick Mahomes will not finish in the top 10 this past year.
Ooh,
That's
so
bold
no
and spicy.
that is bold and spicy.
That's bold and spicy. See, we got to start off the show with something like that. So I just did.
Now I'm hungry for wings.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, football Sunday. Got to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boneless or bone in?
Bone in.
Okay, bone in.
I'm bone in. Yeah, you don't give me just a hunk of chicken. Give me the flavor. You got it on the bone.
Remember, boneless wings are just chicken nuggets. That's all they are.
Right,
That's
basically.
Glorified chicken nuggets. I don't want any of that. Get it out of here.
No.
All right, Chip, which top performer will not finish in the top 10 this year?
I think, and even to piggyback off of Kyler Murray, obviously, I think he's a quarterback, but obviously we've talked about before, running backs are a really big scare. I took Christian McCaffrey this year at 8 in my draft because he was still there. And it makes me really nervous. So I think that some of those top tier running backs, like we said, Henry, McCaffrey, those are guys I think that have the highest probability of probably not finishing in the top 10. So those would be kind of a blend, I think. One of those two. I'm not going to nail it down because if I say Christian McCaffrey and I drafted him, that's not good. So, and I don't want to put the hex on Derrick Henry, so I'm just going to say one of those two.
Okay. Where did you draft McCaffrey again in your draft?
8, but I was in a super flex league.
Oh, okay.
No,
well,
I wanted some quarterbacks went off the board, and McCaffrey's still one of the top running back options as long as he's healthy. And at 8, I figured I could get some pretty good value there, getting the top, player at that position.
Okay.
So,
Nikki, who do you got in your top 10 that's not going to finish out there? The top performers that will not. Don't say Saquon.
No. I think Dak is going to fall off. So I will expand on that because I'm always called a Cowboys hater. But objectively, I think their defense, aside from Micah Parsons, has way too many questions. Who are they really throwing this ball to? That offensive line has a lot of questions. And I do not trust Mike McCarthy as a head coach. I think he has no idea how many timeouts he has or when he should use them. I don't like his play calling decision. And it's not so much Dak's talent. I just don't like the supporting cast that's around him this season.
Do you think CeeDee Lamb is going to really be that number one? I mean, obviously he is the number one guy there, but do you think he's going to be putting up number one numbers this year? I mean, with that offensive line, I mean, Dak's going to have to get the ball off pretty quick with that O-line being kind of suspect right now. Do you think CD is going to really step it up? I mean, he basically kind of took over for Amari Cooper after Cooper went to the Browns. So do you think CD is one of those wide receivers that just is going to be a monster this year in like a Devontae Adams type level?
No, not a Devontae Adams type level. What I think is going to happen is he's going to go off in spurts, right? Maybe we'll get 2-3 weeks. He's amazing. And then he's going to do nothing for a couple weeks. And again, that's just because I'm really not in love with the supporting cast around Dak and the Cowboys.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen I hope it happens today where he gets shut out because they are facing my Buccaneers in Dallas. Yes. So we'll see what happens in Jerry World later on tonight. Okay. Which, I think we'll stay with the running wide receivers. Which wide receiver are you staying away from when it comes to daily fantasy and of course your fantasy football drafts, which have already happened? So which ones were you guys staying away from in fantasy and DFS?
Well, I was not touching Amari Cooper.
You have a thing for hating the Browns, don't you, Nikki?
Yeah, the Browns and the Cowboys. We'll see as we do this show long enough. I just Jacoby Brissett. I don't know. That's like a whole trust thing with me, and obviously could be proven wrong today. I don't think so because this is a revenge game. But I was staying away from Amari Cooper. Did not feel comfortable with that pick.
Okay.
Yeah, Bobby Trees. Give me some Robert Woods, leaving a prolific offense, going to Tennessee, obviously, where they like to pound the rock with the big guys. Derrick Henry. I just don't see how he's going to be as productive as he was with the Rams on a team that usually focuses on the run. So give me no Bobby Trees, please, this year. He is out and off the island.
Bobby Trees.
Good old Bobby Trees.
Chip, I'll take that hex today because the Giants are facing the Titans. So whatever spell you want to cast is fine by me.
All right, good.
That was another Giants mention. That's number 2 on the ticker. That is number 2 for the Giants counter for today. All right, moving on. Which running back could jump into the top 5 this year? Now, running backs are really tough. They're all, if you're not really drafting them in the first maybe round, 2 rounds in your fantasy football drafts, or when in DFS too as well, you got to snag those running backs early, depending on what the scoring is for your league. Which running back who is kind of under the radar right now that could maybe jump into the top 5 for this year?
Do you want to mark me down for number 3?
Yes, I'll mark you down for number 3 because I think you're going to say Saquon Barkley. Yeah. So that's number 3. Okay,
yeah, and I'll just, so I don't sound like a homer. I was around the team all summer covering training camp. I did see the explosiveness come back. I know he does his lateral running, but this time, it's one cut up the middle. He's got some power running. That line is creating holes for him that the Giants haven't seen in a really long time. So he is angry, and he is ready to prove to everybody that he is rehabbed. He is back to where he was. And we all know the best part about Saquon, he just breaks it one time and he could take it to the house. So I think he's in for a comeback season.
Nikki, let me ask you a question. Do you have an over-under how many games Saquon will play?
Yeah, he's going to play the whole season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to hold you to that.
You might as well mark it down.
I'm going to mark it down right now. Full season for Saquon. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Chip, who do we got? Who's your running back could sneak into the top 5 this year?
I mean, I think a guy on the fringe, and we've talked about him a little bit, is DeAndre Swift. I mean, I think he's got all the tools of somebody that could really get a team going. The Lions have changed a little bit with their offense, not a lot. I think he could sneak into the top 10 or into the top 5. He's a little bit outside of that right now, but I think that with a couple of good games that, maybe he could hop in there.
Okay. We have a question from the Facebook line. We've got Jay Garrison, of course, from Bucks Life News saying Leonard Fournette under the radar top 10. Yeah, I can see, yes, him as a under the radar top 10. And I'm not being a homer here too, as well, because I think with the offense now, you're adding in Julio Jones, you added Russell Gage, Chris Godwin is back for week 1. And also Mike Evans is there. You're really, Tom Brady really has a lot of options to actually throw to now in this offense. But when it comes to the running back situation as well, yeah, I can see him being an under the radar top 10, top 5, because I mean, the Bucks, I think, are now going to be tailored toward almost like a running team, as I heard going into the season, which of course it's, you have all the same personnel there with Byron Leftwich and now Todd Bowles as the head coach, but they didn't really run as much as last year as they have in previous years, even though they have Fournette as their top guy. I think he might sneak in the top 5. I think they might emphasize the run more than they will in the air, even though Tom Brady has so many options in the air to throw to. I think you'll see more and more of Fournette. He's got to hang on to the ball though too as well, but I think you'll see a lot of him and then a lot of Rashad White, who is now the number 2 in the depth.
Okay. Well, I got to stop you right there.
Please do. I want you to.
That's the silliest thing you've ever said. Listen to this, okay? Just on
Never
DFS
silly.
today. Just on DFS today, we're taking a look through DraftKings here. Let
Please.
me name you
Please
some
do.
of the guys today that are supposed to be scoring the most points. Right now, you have Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Saquon Barkley, etc. So that was roughly almost 12 running backs. And I think most of those running backs are better than Leonard Fournette.
Okay.
Would you agree or disagree?
I will agree to disagree. I only say that, Chip, because it's a long season too, and you could factor in so many injuries too with a couple of those guys that are injury prone. You know what I mean? The injury prone guys will be, knocked out, like the Dalvin Cooks of the world, he's a great running back, but he's usually injured like once or twice throughout the season. So, I mean,
he's a top 10 if all the people in the top die.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Yes. I will say that too as well. So, okay. Let's move it on. Chip, do we have the injury report? Has it come out yet? Have we have any update?
Yeah, it came out a little bit ago. I'm trying to kind of get through. I know that obviously there are a lot of game time decisions and we do have some finals, but is there any game in particular? I know some of the highlights, obviously going through positions. J.K. Dobbins obviously is doubtful. He won't be up today. Godwin is playing. They're saying he's going to be on a pitch count. Michael Thomas is going to go for the Saints. I think Russell Gage could be playing today. We also have Drake London for the Falcons. He will be going today. Rondale Moore will be out for Arizona. Kittle, as we had heard earlier today, is probably going to be out as well. So definitely check your lineups and make sure that he is not starting. Any other position groups? What were you guys thinking about? Any offensive guys that you know of, or any news that
tight ends? Who we got for tight ends on the injury report? Anybody?
Well, like we said, George Kittle is going to be out. I know that Zach Ertz is questionable. He's a little bit later start today. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer, but he is questionable. So I believe he might be trending towards playing, though.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of what we see for the 1:00 games right now. Defensively, J.J. Watt obviously could be a questionable. He's a little bit later in the day. Shaquille Leonard for Indy is actually not going to play today. He's a starting linebacker. So yeah, just depending upon what we want to take a look at, there are some key injuries today, which is unfortunate.
Okay, for week 1. Thanks, Chip, for the injury report that
buddy.
just came out. All right, let's get into some DFS tips and tricks. I know everybody's firing up their FanDuel apps, their DraftKings, their Bet Onlines. Give me some tips and tricks for today for week 1, heading into some daily fantasy. What do you guys got for me for daily fantasy top tips and tricks?
Well, for me, I am that kind of low risk kind of girl when I do my lineup. So for me, I'm looking at those wide receivers, tight ends, where it's the targets that matter the most to me. So, I like those value guys. I like a nice low risk lineup. And, with running back, when you take that approach, it's a lot easier to forecast and set your lineup. So that's one of my tips. If that's how you typically roll.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things I think in DFS is I always try to look at the over-under. So the most points that are obviously going to be scored are the games you want to have players in. Just like Nikki just touched on, obviously value is a really big thing. Try to find the guys that have the best matchups. Quarterback is going to be one of the highest grossing positions. So find a quarterback in the highest over-under game. Look for those sweet spots or value. I think today – Derek Carr, DraftKings, 5,900, playing the Chargers, going to be fairly cheap. Joe Burrow, 6,400, playing Pittsburgh, should have a good day today. You might want to stack him with Jamar Chase, get some points there. So, yeah, basically look for value where you can find it. The highest over-unders is where I start.
When setting a lineup in like FanDuel and DraftKings, do you guys usually take kind of like the cheapest or mid-range quarterback and then build your team from there just to get the high-quality running backs and wide receivers?
Yeah, because you can get, and maybe you needed to hit me with a Matt Ryan count, because you can get somebody like a Matt Ryan for really cheap, right? And he flies under the radar. So I think grab those value RBs and those wide receivers and look at that, grab those high target guys, those big volume guys. And I don't think you need to you don't need to blow it all on a quarterback. You just don't. And you know what, even if it's not daily fantasy and, I know everybody's draft is over, but for next year, you don't need to even really reach, unless Pat Mahomes is your guy and that's what you do. But you can get a decent quarterback. You can probably pick up Ryan Tannehill for cheap, and he's probably going to get you 20 points at least today. So,
I mean, you could pick up a Jameis Winston for cheap. He'll probably get you some. Just depends if he is eating crab legs today or just kind of doing some insane mantra about working out. His logic. I don't know what he was ranting on this past week, but dude, he's in his own little world right now when it comes to just speaking to reporters. It's like madness. It's like he just goes, "Look, you're living in my world now. This is how I'm going to explain everything." It's nuts.
So yeah, just to piggyback on what Nikki said. So as you mentioned earlier, you think Patrick Mahomes, L. Bushman's going to finish out today. He's one of the top salary positions in DraftKings at 7,700. He's projected to get around 25 points. You can pick up a Derek Carr at 22.2 points. So you're under 3-point difference for 5,900 versus 7,700. So, I mean, that is kind of that's a no-brainer. You got to take, like we said, value and get the most points for what you can do. So
would you take revenge games into effect? Like Baker Mayfield is going against his former team. I mean, do you think he would do well against his former team just to give them the FU, or do you think Baker's just going to be Baker?
I think both those teams are just in transition, and I don't like that game at all. I try to run from it with Baker Mayfield. I mean, I don't really want to talk about that game, but I don't know about revenge game. I guess at the quarterback position, it's definitely something that you can you have more of an ability to control the game flow because you touch the ball every play. So I don't think I think Cleveland feast on the Carolina offensive line, and Baker runs for his life today. So
okay.
No way.
Who is on the rise heading into week 1 that we're looking at for daily fantasy?
I mean, I saw Chase Edmonds has been slowly just kind of ticking up the boards a little bit. He's a guy that I was able to get in my draft kind of late. So I really do like Chase Edmonds today. I've got a lot of stock on him in some of my daily fantasy lineups. So yeah, Chase Edmonds on the uptick.
All right. Nikki?
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And I put that out on my week 1 picks. He's actually a DFS bargain this week too. So grab Chase Edmonds. And you know what, Chip? I like the Cleveland game. I believe last night the line was half a point. I would take the Panthers and lay the half a point because Baker Mayfield is going to stop at nothing to destroy Cleveland. I know it.
I totally agree with you. I just hate that game. To me, just screams under, and it screams just balls getting thrown everywhere, interceptions. Defensive points should be, I think, aplenty in that game. But I don't know. We'll see. I can't.
Yeah, I
don't even want to go near that game. I hate it.
All right. Speaking of the lines, let's get into the lines right now. We'll bring up the lines courtesy of DraftKings. Give me 1 second, and we'll take a look at those right now. The line right now for the Cleveland game is a +1. If you guys can look down in there, would you guys take the +1, or what would you do with that? I mean, to me, that's too close. That's too close to me.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're pretty much just taking a point just to get the person who gets
right.
I mean, that's why. Yeah, I mean, I think, and now more that I think about it, I mean, I think Carolina and McCaffrey, because I have him, I would probably lean towards Carolina because I want a big game from him. But at the same time, like I said, I just feel that Cleveland's built around their defense and they can get after the quarterback, and they got guys that can do that. And Carolina's offensive line is garbage. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. But yeah, I would probably take Carolina.
Okay. Let's start it up with the Ravens-Jets game. The Ravens are the favored by 6.5. Are we going to be taking those odds? And the over-under is 44.
Nikki, what do you think?
What is it? 6.5? Okay. So I think last night it was 7. Usually my rule is like 7, and I'm not going to bet the favorite, right? This is, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the Ravens are just going to destroy them. Like, I can't follow my own rule, I guess.
I mean, Joe Flacco's at the helm for the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of like a homecoming-esque game for him. I wouldn't say it's revenge, but I'll give it 6.5.
It's a lot though, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of a lot of points, right? That's a lot. I mean, you just don't know. Either the Ravens are going to get out to a hot start and this game is over, or you know what? They're going to let their foot off the gas and you're going to have like that backdoor cover, right? The Jets are just going to sneak in towards the end of the game. So, I actually don't know if I would bet this one.
This is, I mean, I don't know.
It's a dirty game. I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. It's dirty.
I got to tell you, and the odds makers, Vegas is what it is because they know something. So, 6.5, like we've all said, that's kind of it's a wonky number. So I think Baltimore, I think they have the potential, obviously, to win by a lot more. And I also think the game's probably an under, but it'll be interesting. Like you said, Joe Flacco came from Baltimore, did a lot for that organization. So I don't know. I could see, I would take Baltimore, but I would take the under. That's where I'd probably throw my money.
I mean, I'm looking at the next matchup with the Niners and the Bears, and it's kind of icky too on this one. I don't.
Yeah, this is big.
Yeah, with all the hype with Trey Lance, and like the Bears are a mess right now with what they've got going on. 6.5 to me is.
No, that's too big. I think.
Yeah,
that's too big.
Yeah, it's too big to me. Yeah,
you guys know, 29% of the bets are on the Bears, but that's where 65% of the money is. But I wouldn't touch this one.
Yeah, I think, Nikki, and as you said earlier, the weather, it sounds like it's going to be deluge day up there. So it's going to be raining a lot. You're going to see a lot of ground and pound. Obviously, the Bears with Montgomery, he'll get a lot of work today, it seems like. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely I'd take the Niners, but know also that Chicago's offensive line, I think, was the worst at giving up sacks, and the Niners, I think, were the best. So I mean, Bosa and crew will be in full effect today. They'll be coming after the football. So, but yeah, messy game on tap. What it sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Colts Texans matchup, and it's a Colts are a 7-point favorite. I honestly think, look, this one might be another spicy take right now. I think this game might be closer than what everybody thinks it's going to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
I like what I saw out of the Texans at the end of last year. Like Davis Mills really took control of that offense. They drafted pretty well. I'm not sold with Matt Ryan just becoming the all-out superstar yet again with a new team. It's Matt. Look, you can put Matt Ryan anywhere, and he's still Matt Ryan. Now, obviously, he's got a better offensive line and better run game, but I just, for a gut reason, I think this game might be just a little bit closer than what everybody thinks it's going to be. I think Houston might surprise a lot of people this year with a lot of the young core that they have. So even though Quentin Nelson also got an $80 million extension today too as well, so he might be playing for $80 million. But I -7 to me, I think it's going to be closer.
Divisional game too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer. I think seven is a lot, but to me, with this matchup, and Chip, you hit the nail right on the head. It's a divisional game. I think it's going to be closer than what it is.
Nikki, I got to hear your take on this because it looks like you're about ready to burst.
Please do. I would love for her just to go. You're stupid.
Oh my God. No,
Please
you know what? I'm breaking my own rule. I'm taking this 7. I'm taking the Colts. Yeah, I will lay it. That's fine.
Okay.
Like, yeah, Matt Ryan is one of the most consistent passers in this league, especially for fantasy. This is a higher powered offense. Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor. I think that this is probably blowout written all over it.
Preach. I got to agree with Nikki on this one. DraftKings today, Michael Pittman in the top 5 for points projected today, only 5,500, one of the best value picks right now on DraftKings. So Go out, take Pittman, put him in your lineup, and stroll to the victory lane.
Okay. All right.
Wait, I gotta ask El Bushman. We gotta look at one game, and I know if we did our pick'ems, I know. Well, actually, I'm gonna lie, and I'm gonna say 2. The first one I would love to look at is Jacksonville and Washington.
I'm glad that you said that too.
Is that where you were going?
Yep, that's where I was going on that one.
Go there and take me, and I'll tell you what. I looked at this for a while and I was like, I think now we've got Lawrence and he's got pieces around him.
Tell me you picked the Jags. Tell me you picked the Jags.
Yep. I'm taking.
I did too.
Did you really?
Yes. Yes.
Make a game up on this. Okay. So we're all heavy on Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on Jacksonville in this. I think with them, with Peters, with the way they just are retooling this whole team, with bringing in the right guys, the right personnel, the right coaching staff that actually I watched College Game Day yesterday, and seeing Urban Meyer on there as a commentator was like, man, just go away from football, dude. Just go. And just kind of seeing what he did with that team with so much young, promising talent on it, it was just like, dude, I'm rooting for the Jags. I'm rooting for the Jags, especially with this game. And to me, the Commanders they're a mess too, but I think the Jags, this is going to be an interesting, it might be an interesting like trash game, but it's going to be an interesting game. I got Jags though.
Wow. So I thought I'd make up one game on you guys, maybe by taking them. Okay.
No.
Well, then I'll go.
No.
One more second one. And I think what do you feel? What are your feelings on Minnesota and Green Bay?
Oof.
Oh,
divisional game. I found out when I looked at this game today, going through injuries, Bakhtiari, starting left tackle, will not be playing today. Alan Lazard is also, I think, going to be out as well. I'm leaning more towards Minnesota. The money is starting to pile up on Minnesota a little bit. So I'm in the middle on this one. But I think for the pick'ems, I think I actually did take Minnesota on this.
I think I picked Green Bay on this only solely because, it's Aaron Rodgers, and he always just loves to mess up the Minnesota Vikings on this one. Even though he's got like a wide receiving core, which is unknown right now, there's no like number one guy.
True.
But you have that two-headed monster with AJ Dillon, which AJ Dillon to me could be a really, really fantasy star this year as well. I'm going with Green Bay. I like the 2.5. I'll give them the 2.5 on this. Yeah, I like that. I like that matchup.
No, I went with Minnesota on this one. I think it's going to take Green Bay a couple weeks to, what's life without Devontae Adams. Let me just throw a couple stats at you. So the Vikings are underdogs since 2014. Underdogs are 28-9-2 against the spread. And don't forget that last season, Minnesota won and covered against Green Bay. So.
So I'm the lone wolf on this one. I picked Green Bay. You guys picked Vikings. No, I like that. I like it. We can switch it up. Like we can kind of mix this up a little bit. Okay. Let's go down to the Chargers and the Chiefs. It's at a +3. The Chargers are the 3-point underdogs right now. Closer than what you guys think it's going to be, or 3 points. That's not. I think that's right where it should be.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chargers on this one though. I think. I think, like I'm saying, man, the Chargers are going to be ruthless this year.
Yeah.
Especially against the Chiefs. I love this matchup. It's going to be nice.
Wait, Chargers against Chiefs?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Right now they are.
No. Chargers are Vegas today.
It's Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at next week. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
Oops, there we go. I'm sorry about that. Well, I'm sorry.
Don't jump.
Sorry.
I know you're excited.
I'm excited. Sorry. I'm going. Okay. Yeah. Chargers and the Raiders. That's also going to be a good matchup too. Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite on this matchup. I think this is going to be like an air it out type of game. You're going to see a lot of receiving yards on both ends. It's going to be a high scoring game. The over under is 52.5. I'll go over on that.
Over.
Well, yeah, that would be over. And I think the Chargers. I'm huge on the Chargers this year. They did a lot of retooling. They fixed their offensive line. They drafted some guys that can start. They signed J.C. Jackson away from the Patriots. I think, although he is questionable.
He is not starting today, is what I've heard.
Not today.
Not today. No, not starting today.
Okay, so that'll be another reason, as we said, the 52.5 will probably be met and exceeded in my eyes. So, yeah, Chargers very big on them this year.
Okay. And let's go up to the actual matchup the Chiefs do have is against the Arizona Cardinals.
Working out those week 1 kinks.
We got to knock the rust off. I haven't been hosting a show in a long time. So the Chiefs are a 6.5-point favorite against the Cardinals. I think that's too much.
Yeah, too much.
That's too much to me. I think this will be another aired out game too, as well.
Yeah.
Over under 54 is the over under. I'll go over on that one. I'll go over.
Yeah, and Arizona was, let's see, last season. Wait, what is this? Oh, they're 3-0 against the spread in games where they're the underdog by 5 or more. So
I'll take that.
Yeah, and this too much for me too. I wouldn't take that. What is it? 6, right?
6.5 right now. Yeah.
Oh no,
that's too much.
Yep, too much. Obviously, the hook that 6.5 scares everybody, but 54.5 definitely like the over there. A lot of the money on the money line is actually shifting towards Kansas City. So a lot of points. It'll be interesting to me, and maybe I can get y'all's take on this. Kansas City, who's going to be the person that would end up stepping up? We know Kelsey's going to get his. What do you think? Do you think more just goes to him, or who do you think is the person that comes out of nowhere?
I mean, Juju is there. You've got MVS, who they brought over from Green Bay.
Yep.
I don't know, and I don't know, man. And you have Sky Moore, who they have too as well.
The rookie who I really like for that Tyreek Hill role.
I don't know.
That was a mouthful.
I mean, to me, essentially, it should be Juju because we've seen Juju. I mean, really, kind of replace Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh before his injuries and all the other stuff that was going on, but. I don't know, man. That's a tough call with all the other personnel that they have. To step up in that Tyreek Hill number 1 spot, I really think it's between Juju and MVS, but I'm going to lean towards Juju. Is he even starting today? I don't think he is.
I don't see anything on the injury report saying he's not.
All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough call because you have big shoes to fill in that receiving core, and right now it's just like question marks all over the place. And one of the reasons why they brought in Juju was to replace Tyreek, and to me, that's not really a replacement to me. You have to have somebody else do that. So, okay. All right, Nikki, we're going to go to your matchup, the New York Football Giants against the Tennessee Titans. The Giants are a 5-point underdog right now. What are your thoughts on that, Nikki?
Take it.
Oh.
Take it. Take
the trucks.
All right.
Yeah, take it. And did I hit I'm at number 4, right?
You are at number 4 on the ticker right now.
We don't know what happens when Nikki hits number 5 because this is week 1 for our show, but stay tuned. Reason to keep watching. No,
we'll have confetti stream out and sirens going off.
Yes. Yes, I love confetti. So that would be great.
You actually know what we should do a prop bet is how many times you mention the Giants each show. So we'll have a number and then every time that comes about, we'll have like a prize or something and stream.
Yeah.
All that good
stuff. Everybody stay tuned. We have lots of crazy bets going on that these guys will do that I will probably not do, but we'll see. No, I really do like this matchup. I think it's a little more evenly matched than people think, right? The Giants secondary is very young, very thin, but that Titans passing core, Pro Football Focus had them ranked number 32. So it's not like they have a scary passing attack. Of course, nobody wants to go up against Derrick Henry, but I do think Saquon is going to have a good game. I think it's probably, last minute field goal game, but I do like the Giants and take the points.
Okay. What do you think about this matchup, Chip?
Man, this just has scary written all over it, dude. All the money line, everybody's going crazy. I mean, the money line's heavy on Tennessee. The spread right now, a lot of betting action, it looks like, is 50-50. Everyone is piling up on the under, though.
Which I'm definitely taking the under on this one.
Yeah, I definitely see that coming through. But, I mean, I'd stick with Tennessee, but I honestly think this game is going to be like a coin flip. I can see the Giants hanging in there, and as long as they can, stop or not stop. I don't think you'll stop Derrick Henry, but as long as you slow him down, the game will be dictated by that. If you can't slow him down and they stay on the field to grind the clock, then I think that's Tennessee's, area they always strive for. So Treylon Burks took him in our draft. Looking forward to seeing what he can do today. So yeah, we'll see. This could be last minute field goal, I think, or something towards the end. So, I mean, betting wise, you're getting 5.5. You can take the points. I think Tennessee does win the football game.
Okay. Let's go to the marquee matchup tonight for tonight's primetime game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World. The line right now is a -2 as the Bucs are a 2-point favorite. The over under is 50 right now for that game. I'm taking the over on this.
Taking the over. Offensive fireworks plenty is what you're telling me, even though Godwin is on a pitch count and
you've got Julio still there, you've got Gage still there, Evans is still there. I'm taking the over on that.
Okay. And Nikki, what do you think?
And the 2 points. I don't know, man. That 2 points is too close to me.
Yeah, that's way too close.
That's too close. I wouldn't take the 2.
I'm gonna go under on this one. I don't think that Dallas is gonna come out firing on all cylinders. I never really bet against Tom Brady as another rule that one I never really break. I just don't bet against him. I just think Tampa Bay is the better team, but everybody's got kinks to work out in week 1. So I'm going to go under. I don't think it's going to be this massively high scoring affair, but I do think it's going to be a good game. However, I would have put Raiders Chargers as a Sunday night game.
Yeah,
because that game was so good.
Yeah, but you got to look at like the ratings for prime time. I mean, it's Tom Brady, and then of course the quote unquote America's
world,
more America's. Jerry Jones was on the phone like, "Look, I'm going to be facing near Tom Brady. You better have my team the prime time 8:20 spot on the old NBC."
That's pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate
pretty good. I gotta give it to you. I like.
He's ringing up like Goodell, going, "You better make this happen."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sticking with Nikki on this one. I think we're a little inconsistent. Dallas is missing starting tackles. Everybody's kind of been, trudging along. I don't think Dak Prescott is going to be the Dak of old. I think we're just going to continue to see things kind of shuffle around. I think the under, and I mean, you have to take Tampa. I mean, you just have to. There's just too much going that way. So, I mean, I'll take Tampa, but I think under. This game is going to shock a lot of people. as far as the points that come out of it. I just think both teams are kind of, looking for some continuity. Tom Brady will obviously pick it up faster, I think, than Dak. But we'll see what the story is.
Okay. And for tomorrow night's Monday night matchup against the Broncos and the Seahawks, it is, could you call it a revenge game for Russ?
Yes.
Could you? Well, he kind of wanted out anyways.
Revenge game, but definitely a game he's got circled. After his contract was done and he got everything, he definitely has a circle around this one.
I'm taking the over on this one. I'm definitely taking the over on this one.
44. What is it?
44.5. I'm taking the over.
I'm probably going under on this one.
I'm going to go under.
You're going to go under?
Yeah.
There's Geno Smith back there.
Yeah, you're not the offensive juggernaut. I don't care if you have DK Metcalf and Lockett, but you got to get it to him, and he can't do that.
I'll take the points though. I'll take the 6.5. I'll take that. I think that's doable.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
I'm kind of. I think that. Oh God.
Pete Carroll knows Russell Wilson pretty well.
Okay.
That's
I don't know.
That's pretty big for me. I don't know if I like that.
I like. If I take, I think Denver will cover the 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they'll do that.
Okay.
I could see that. Now hold on. Now we're not gonna sign off without doing my Falcons. Because I see you jumped the Monday.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We do everybody's games. We did Nikki.
Well, I figured you didn't want to talk about your team because of it's.
Of course, I want to talk about them. Come on.
Okay, the Falcons divisional game. They're going up against the Saints. The Saints are a 5.5 points favorite. The over/under is 43.5.
This is going to come down to Drake London. Is his knee really ready to go? He hasn't played a lot in the offseason or preseason. So, I hate that I have to do this, but we are, a daily fantasy and betting show. If I'm betting, I'm taking the Saints right now.
Right.
Michael Thomas, they're saying, is going to play. He has a hamstring. New Orleans does have a pretty good defense, although they do have Jameis. I have no idea where the ball is going. Winston. So it could end up the hot dog guy in the stands in Atlanta might be busy today. A cheerleader. It could be a lot of things getting thrown around. So I think in the pick'ems, it also pained me to say I did take the Saints, but I think I'm more interested in seeing how quick Mariota we transition from him Ritter and kind of see what happens. But I'm interested to see Drake London today, Kyle Pitts, the new offense, and how they're going to look.
I don't care if these two teams beat the crap out of each other. I don't know, man. I hate the Saints more than they hate the Falcons. A lot of people are saying the Falcons are going to be that underrated team that might come out of nowhere. Yeah. So, I think it just all kind of depends on the way Jameis is going to play for the Saints. Do you think right now he's in gunslinger mode, or do you think he's to the point where, hey, you need to be a game manager now instead of trying to be the superstar quarterback that we all thought you were going to be, but haven't really done? I'm going to take the Saints on this one. I begrudgingly, I don't want to, but I am going to take the Saints on this. It pains me to say that too as well.
Pains me too.
I'll take the over on it though. 43.5 is a little low for me. I'll take the over on it. This might be a shootout between these two teams. Might.
Could be. The Saints are 14-3 against the spread, and they're past 17 games against the AFC South. So,
this is the NFC South, not the AFC. Get the rest.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. First show. First show.
We all got kinks to work out.
So, what do you guys think? Kamara huge today. Massive. Falcons defense is not gotten better, I think, but not great. Not anything to hang your hat on.
I think under 100 yards, but one score.
Okay.
I'd say 75, 80 yards rushing, and then one tutty. That's what I think.
That's probably fair.
Because I think with Jameis, I think Jameis is going to be airing it out a lot against the Falcons.
Yeah, they're saying Kamara will score in the top 10 on daily right now. He's 7,600. He's going for 17.5 points. I think the number one thing also I just want to see is Michael Thomas. Are we ever going to see him back to wide receiver one form? He hasn't played a lot of football in a long time. I did draft him in my draft. I can't remember when I got him in Superflex, but what do you think? I think maybe 50, 60 yards, maybe one touchdown.
I think, well, this is going to be interesting to see too, because Jameis and Michael Thomas really haven't been in a game together. This is like kind of like real first time they're going to be in real game time mode playing together on a team. I mean, the last time we saw Michael Thomas in like a game was last year in the NFC divisional game against the Bucks. So
a hot minute ago, I know that.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we've seen him play, and I'm looking forward to seeing that dynamic with those two if it's actually going to be a good tandem. So I mean, we'll see. Do they have him on a pitch count at all? Because I mean, hamstring is that's a big injury to come back from.
I didn't see in the notes or anything. They didn't say pitch count. I think he's probably going to run at his own. I mean, he's going to definitely run his own pace, and he'll be, I think, moving in and out, obviously, of the game when he feels like he's ready. But as a red zone target, you really gotta like your odds, obviously, with Michael Thomas against the Atlanta corners. AJ Terrell probably will be the person that will be shadowing him. So we'll have to see how that turns out.
What do you got on Thomas, Nikki? I mean, what do you think?
I think he's going to be a little bit rusty, and I think if you can get Landry, get him.
Yeah. I like that. Like that. Okay. All right. Let's before we get on out of here, we are going to do our lock of the week this week. Who do we got for our lock of the week?
Now, I got to ask, can we do over-unders? Are we taking a win, a team, or are we taking any segment? What do you think?
Let's do team.
You want to do team?
Well, we can do a consensus on it. Do you want to do a team, or do you want to do an over-under?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe an over-under.
All right, let's do an over-under.
What do you think, Nikki?
Yeah,
first show. I kind of thought about this. I figured a team, just to pick a team to win, we can look and just look at the highest spread and be like, okay, you can take a favorite or whatever. I figured it might be more fun if you pick an over-under. You know what's going to be under, what's going to be over, or maybe something like that.
Okay, let's do over-under then. Lock of the week.
All right. Since I just changed the rules in the middle of the show and didn't prepare anybody for anything, I am going to take Chargers.
You son of
over.
I was going to take that.
Over the 52.
Okay.
I think that's going to be solid. I think you can that is U.S. mail, baby. Stamp it, post it, ship it out the door.
Ooh, I like that. U.S. mail. That is funny.
I like that.
All right. I'll lock in the under for Bucks Cowboys.
There you go. Oh, okay. I like that.
I'm going to do the over in the Chiefs Cardinals game. I'll do the over on that one for my lock of the week. All right. Before we're going to get out of here, we have our pick'ems already locked in. We do have the Wheel of Death, which we will do every single week. The Wheel of Death is whoever loses in the week of pick'ems, you will have to do that punishment that is on the wheel. There's the wheel itself. We have the wig weekend, which with the wig weekend is you have to wear a wig for the entire show.
Wig or some sort of mask, maybe something to kind of mess with the face or the hair appearance.
No. A wig is fine. Thank you. Okay.
Nikki's like, don't take my money maker. Don't do that.
Chip, you kind of came up with Hammer Time. So explain Hammer Time.
What's Hammer
Time? So I was thinking about football movies today when I was talking with L. Bushman, and I was trying to think of a funny scene. So in The Replacements, remember when all those guys are in jail and they start dancing or whatever? They're doing the electric slide in that movie or something. I figured if this happens and you land on the Hammer Time, if you're in your local watering hole or bar, maybe before NFL kickoff or before a game, maybe you try to start an electric slide, like no music, no nothing, or just maybe do a dance move before kickoff, and maybe we record it and that clip can be played maybe 30 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever you want to do.
So, Chip, the only bar we're going to do that as is probably Rafferty's.
Rafferty's, yeah.
Rafferty's.
Nikki, I don't know your local watering hole, but what do you think about that? Do you think you could just bust a move for a second in a bar, maybe if you're watching the 4:00 games or if you're out and about, or tell me what do you think?
We'll see. Well, listen, coming from an ex-dancer, I hate the stupid dances, right? So I'll bust out a ballet move for you guys or something.
Okay, that could work. Okay.
No, yeah, maybe the dancing is good. Wow, I can't do that I'm not a good dancer. So yeah, I'm scared. If I
I
get
might be
that
able.
one
I might be
hammer
able
time-
to. I take my daughter to dance class all the time, so I've learned some of their dance
Okay.
moves. So I
Yeah,
might be
you
able
could
to
do
that.
it. Yeah, you for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Profess your love is you have to write a sonnet or a poem about the player or commentator that you hate the most, but you have to profess your
Okay.
love for them. Okay.
That's a
Wake up juice is Chip. Explain wake up juice because we came up with that one.
Wake up juice. So everybody, Back to the Future. Was it 3?
3, the Western.
3,
yeah,
the Western. So Doc Brown goes in and he has one shot of whiskey. He ends up passing out, and the bartender and his friend come up and they say, "We're going to make some wake up juice." So
He's
wake up
gonna
juice.
be live like a priest on Sunday.
That's right. So wake up juice. You've had a long night. You went out Saturday. It's football Sunday. You got to wake up. You got to move, make your bets. So we're going to create a concoction to help you wake up. It's going to contain maybe a little bit of beer, maybe a little bit of hot sauce. It'll be something that we'll all create together. But at the end of the day, it should kind of make you pop and make you get ready for your football Sunday.
all right. I thought that said wake and bake, and I was like, oh, can do.
We can change it to wake and bake, and I will want to land on that every single time. So that's fine.
I will lose every week. Sure. Okay. Let me get that blue one right there.
Next one is hot sauce roulette, which you have to take a shot of hot sauce, which is kind of
see, that's ouch. That's fun for no.
Then don't lose. Don't lose.
I'm trying. Hey, I'm already with you, buddy.
Okay.
Nikki's one game in the hole.
Okay. And then the last one is jersey swap. Jersey swap would be you have to wear a jersey that we pick like a rival. So, Nikki, you're a NFC East. You're a Giants fan,
yes.
so you'll have to either wear like a Eagles or a Cowboys jersey or a Commanders, whatever you want to do.
God.
Oh goodness.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna do the Wheel of Death for Week 1. Here we go.
Oh God.
Profess your love. All right, profess your love. All right, so we'll whoever loses will have to create a poem or a sonnet about the personality in the NFL that you hate the most, and you have to profess your love. That has been the Wheel of Death for Week 1.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, that concludes our show for Channelside Bets, presented to you by, of course, Channelside Sports. Make sure to go on the social media accounts of Channelside Sports and follow and subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button to get all the latest shows that come about. Guys, it's Week 1. Good luck with daily fantasy. Good luck with your fantasy teams this week. We will be back every single Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the best in DFS and fantasy advice, I guess you could say. If you want.
Good close. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. So make sure to cash those checks and make some bets. This has been Channelside Bets. We'll see you next time.
Go Falcons.